Hi, this is Jo from Jo Willie Media. Welcome to my latest top tips video. Last week I spoke to you about whether it was best to email or call with a pitch, and I said don't call, but then proceeded to give you lots of tips on how to call, how to best call if you want to. So today, this week, I wanted to talk to you about how to nail the email pitch. Hugely important. Obviously, if that's the preferred way journalists want to be contacted, you've got to make sure that you get it right. In fact, actually, Cision did a survey of journalists a couple of years ago, and 92% of journalists said that they preferred an email pitch over any other form of pitching, either phone call or via social media. So what are my top tips for a good email? Hard-hitting subject line is the most important, because that's the first thing a journalist is going to see in their inbox. So make sure that's clear, hard-hitting, and is actually telling them what the story is in the email. Give them an excuse to open it. Make sure that's 10 words or less, so it's nice and snappy. Secondly, I would suggest that you make sure you send the email at the right time. I mentioned timing for phone calls last week, same for email. First thing in the morning is a great time. Get it in the inbox for the start of the working day. Newspaper journalists start at 10 a.m. Obviously, it's different for different outlets, so make sure you know when they start work and get your email in before then. Make sure you personalise it. Put their name, Dear Jo. I used to get so many emails with press releases saying, Dear Jackie, Dear Jenny, dear whoever, not Dear Jo. Can you imagine how annoying that is? It's clear that email's just been punted around to anyone and everyone. You kind of know as a journalist, obviously, a PR is going to be approaching others, but you don't really want it to be so in your face. And also, it just looks really unprofessional. So personalise it, make sure you get someone's name correct. But then don't be too over-friendly. If you don't know them, we don't want any of this, how are you, how was your weekend? You're wasting precious seconds of a journalist's time with pleasantries that are totally unnecessary. If you've got their attention, tell them what the story is. Get straight to the point. Don't waffle on about how they are. Keep the tone friendly and helpful, but obviously keep it professional. Journalists take about a minute to decide whether to engage with a press release or bin it. So that means you've got just 60 seconds, less than 60 seconds, I would say, to make sure you get their attention. So make sure you avoid being too salesy. You want to be telling them that you've got a story that's interesting to them and their readers. They're not interested in the client you're trying to promote. So ditch the sales pitch, just make it newsworthy, and make sure you're telling them that at the start of the email. And that gets me to the first line of the email. Summarise the story in that first line. Think about how you would explain what the story is to a friend, and that's pretty much you nailing it for a journalist. It's just telling the journalist why the email and therefore the news is relevant to them. And just one final tip really is never attach a press release. Always paste it into the body of the email. No one likes opening attachments from people they don't know. Who wants a computer virus? None of us. And imagine that in a newsroom on a busy day. Ugh, you wouldn't be very popular at all. So paste it into the body of the email. Also, attachments sometimes take ages to load, don't they? They're annoying. So ditch the attachments, make sure it's in the body of the email, and that should be a winning email pitch. So best of luck. Cheers.